so fucking precious when you smile. Hit it from the back and drive you wild. Girl, I lose myself up in those eyes. I just had to let you know you're
Afternoon, ladies and gents. It's your boy, SuperMarioT, just casually about to completely gush about the Min reveal for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but also follow up on my obstinate cycle of Smash speculation video I made last month, since this reveal is not only heavily relevant to that, but it just changes the whole landscape of speculating Smash Ultimate from this point onward. Newcomers to this channel, or anyone who hasn't seen it and is interested in Smash speculation, both good and bad, I recommend giving it a watch, as I'll be referencing a decent chunk of what I said there. But first, I'm gonna assume I'm allowed to give my opinions on Min before the meat and potatoes. So, Min is our ARMS character, our first character of Fighters Pass 2. And you can tell if you saw my reaction, my massive spam of Min on my Twitter yesterday, or the video I just put at the beginning of what I think. Also, for once, I'll plug in my Twitter, at SuperMarioT_YT. Go follow me on Twitter, I'm on there all the time, post and retweet Nintendo memes and other shenanigans. I am super happy and excited that Min is in Smash. I was a fan of ARMS when it launched. I enjoyed the game a good amount, even if its combat and amount of content at the time wasn't everyone's cup of tea. I've made 2 Min montages of some sort. I even made a video with a bold claim of ARMS becoming big in the future, which now that Min's in Smash, and if ARMS gets a sequel, which it probably will, that video might age like fine wine, like my Smash themed end card with Min in a little bottom left corner. But I've mentioned this kind of thing before, so I'm not one of those people that just pretends to claim the franchise is dead, bad, or hated it before the announcement or whatever, only to hop on the hype train afterwards like I've been a longtime fan of the franchise. The hypocrite hype guy, basically. I did drop around late summer of 2017. There were more games coming out at the time between Sonic Mania, Mario plus Rabbids, Kingdom Battles, Super Mario Odyssey especially, and tons more during late 2017 and 2018, which is largely why ARMS faded out of existence, especially when Splatoon 2 came out. But it's been forever since I played the game. I stopped after the Max Brass update, but not only do I feel ARMS is worth the money with the content it has now, thanks to the updates, now with Smash's inherent marketing effect where it promotes games and franchises it houses, I'm in a mood to pick it up again. So yes, Let's Play coming soon alongside SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated and Bug Fables making a return at some point. I like the gameplay. Min was my main in ARMS. I love Min's character design and her background and theme. She owns a ramen shop named Nintendo. She likes ramen. I like ramen. Her kicks, Dragon Arm, and default arms were also sick to me. She's just a character that's not only cute, but pretty cool too. And now she's in Smash with those same arms and mechanics. I could not be happier. For once, I'm getting a DLC character from a game I know with a character I have a genuine attachment to. There's nothing more gratifying and exciting as that. As far as the reveal and presentation, I'd even say Min's trailer itself is hands down the best DLC trailer by a mile. Joker's announcement had the biggest impact and heaviest weight to it. We can definitely agree nothing will top the weight and precedent that reveal carried, but even ignoring any biases I have to Min herself, the trailer was the most fun of all the DLC. The style, the structure, and sheer charm put into it was incredible and captivating as hell. You look at the trailer and can tell damn well the animators had a blast with this. They knew the ARMS characters, personalities, and designs is its biggest strength. Springman was very expressive and charming with him grabbing the invitation. Every character really was super expressive and cute. The art style resembles art's cartoony, comic look-like aesthetic you see in the artwork and promos. Its structure was even good, as despite starting out with Captain Falcon and Kirby scarfing down Ramen with a Min in disguise, and you could kind of tell in your gut it's her, it still kept you guessing with Springman holding the letter, Ninjara holding onto it longer than everyone else, all the characters fighting for it, and him and Twintel at the end fighting. Even having the other characters fight over the invitation, it didn't feel like a cheap way of increasing tension. The vibe and style made it feel like it's well within ARMS' world, and it's having a fun time immersing within itself. Like this trailer, it felt like a pre-release newcomer trailer. The kind of trailer you'd see before the game would come out. Like King K. Rool's, Incineroar's, or in Smash 4, Bowser Jr.'s or Palutena's trailers. It did not feel like a DLC trailer, if that makes any sense. And Min herself looks incredible. Small detail I want to highlight really quick, but Min never smiles in ARMS, except once or twice in artwork / victory animations. There were so many instances she smiled in this, and I just find that incredibly wholesome and adorable, topped off with the trailer contradicting the lore of ARMS itself by giving Min Min normal human arms before transforming into her signature noodle and dragon arms. She just looks super cute in my opinion. Min Min is super adorable, and her playstyle, while degenerate, a huge pain to fight online probably, conceptually looks extremely fun. Her range is utterly ridiculous. She can throw each arm on opposite ends of the stage at once, covering the whole thing. She can swap through her Dragon, Megawatt, and Ram on her right arm, all with varying outputs of frame data, range, power, coverage, and utility. Her up smash reflects projectiles. She can basically attack twice at once. Her grab is bigger than Palutena's, which is insane. Half of her kit otherwise is derived largely from Fox and a little Mario. She has an up B out of shield, which she can act out of, a tether grab, and she's incredibly faithful to her presence in ARMS itself. It's impressive how much Sakurai and the development team managed to input a radically different and unique design for a character in Smash as if it were straight from the game. It could be a detriment to the metagame, given even upon closer analysis her frame data doesn't look significantly poor and her kit is relatively versatile outside of close combat. At the same time, the fact that she can swap different arms, all with varying effects and attributes, and she has her dragon arm, is ridiculously faithful to the character in ARMS. You might as well claim you're playing ARMS then and there. I could see her being a lower or middle high tier character if I'm being honest, given most of this. Am I gonna main this character though? Honestly, yes. I main Mario, Palutena, and King K. Rool. I generally main characters out of my love for them and or their franchise. What these three have: Mario's obvious, just look at the channel name. Kid Icarus Uprising is my favorite 3DS game. Palu's one of my favorite characters from that game, also mained her in Smash 4. And I've wanted K. Rool in since forever. I've liked Donkey Kong Country 3 growing up too, plus Mario Super Sluggers, and he's just a fun, goofy character to play and watch. I probably have a preferred playstyle, something aggressive with extra interesting options, quote unquote, so it's not one-sided, but I don't have many issues willing to adapt to other characters of different archetypes. I'm a minority in that sense, that I kind of prefer playing someone that I have a large attachment, connection, or love to, more than just how he/she plays. Usually a mix of both, but the former prioritized above the latter. The only character I said I'd main upon reveal with full confidence was K. Rool, which I stuck to. It's not like a half-confident maybe scenario like Joker, Terry, or Banjo. They're cool characters one way or another, but I personally wasn't confident in sticking with them like with King K. Rool. With Min Min, I might actually stack 4 characters now. I love ARMS, especially Min Min, mained her in ARMS, so it's apparent why I'm gushing about this, but Min Min also just looks incredible and super adorable. She seems like a ton of fun and a solid character, and the fact that she switches arms and frame data along with it, plus crazy range, makes her fun and gives her some depth. A little Olimar thing going on, like how Pikmin affect him. Heck, Palutena is practically my mascot at this point, looking at my Discord and Twitter. Pin both those in the comments, so Min Min might be a sister mascot with her, which would be dope. I cannot wait, can't wait until next week for her to come out. Hashtag Min Min for the win-win. But a grander impact Min Min's reveal had on Smash Ultimate, specifically Smash Speculation, is this opens the door to so many other possibilities for speculation and potential newcomers. I've said for the longest time I did not think the Spirits deconfirmation fan rule meant anything, and Spirits could be fighters. ARMS characters had Spirits, between Springman, Ribbon Girl, Ninjara, Twintail, and Min Min. Now, with Min Min playable, and especially since Sakurai emphasized Spirit battles will change in the future, depending on newcomers or whether you have certain Mii costumes or not, since he showed this with the Cuphead Spirit fight, the Spirits deconfirmed fan rule is finally dead. Hindsight also makes it more ridiculous too. Like, people drew the line at a PNG, one of various pictures the team can either replace with a pre-existing one or make a new one, which is less work and substance when looking at how Mewtwo and Lucas got in Smash 4 with new trophies, plus Chrom being playable in Robin's Final Smash and Victory Animation, which could be placed at the same time. Not to mention, Spirits were stated to be a cheaper, efficient source for side content instead of 3D models for trophies. I've said this before. There were some who were dead set on pushing this, like Sakurai confirmed this, yet he never did. Not only am I happy this argument can finally be put to rest, but this leaves more characters on the table. This opens the idea of Geno, Bandana D, Dixie Kong, Paper Mario, Rayman, Shantae, and hundreds of others being considered to the general public. Technically, these characters already had decent or good chances beforehand. The Spirits deconfirm idea never legitimately existed. Again, it's a fan rule, so it's technically not like the character's chances risen instantly from this. they really had those good chances to begin with, or at the very least upon the announcement of a second Fighter's Pass. If anything, this just opens the ideas for speculation and perspective among hundreds of Smash fans, which is the key takeaway. Min Min's trailer might have set a precedent of what kind of trailers we may get for newcomers from here on, but it's practically a blank slate as to who's next now that Min Min's revealed. We don't know if Nintendo's going to go down a predictable route of promoting either other recent titles or popular games by adding Rex from Xenoblade 2, or a Gen 8 Pokemon to represent Sword and Shield. We don't know if they'll take a more traditional route as far as Ultimates-based newcomers went, and go for more popularity-driven requests like Crash or Spyro, or more spirits whom are also popular like Geno, Bandana D, or Dixie Kong, or massive curveballs like Sora or Doomslayer. Could be all first party or a mix between it and third party. And I recommend expecting the worst in this upcoming statement. Take a more cynical, pessimistic approach with what I'm about to say, since it'd be more realistic and mentally safer, but there's even a tiny, very slight glimmer of hope of there being more characters after the second pass, since Sakurai said there'd quote-unquote at least be 5 more, not dismissing the possibility of this being the end of the DLC. It's only unsure and uncertain. Again, I'd expect only this pass being the last of it. Safer, more grounded expectations that way, more realistic. Sakurai, while not a deity nor is exempt from criticism, is a man who deserves a break and has long earned it, but even that's just a tiny small detail sitting on the table now, until later this pass. This opens the door to many possibilities for fans to consider. This dials back to my point on the Smash cycle, people being sharp to each other over misconceived notions and false narratives over any biases they have for or against certain characters. That lack of open-mindedness, invalidating other ideas people have for no reason, the kind of attitude and caustic behavior that makes people despise speculating Smash, even when those caustic individuals get proven wrong. Like, it doesn't help anyone and they run the risk of looking silly upon looking like an ass at the same time. It's fine to feel disappointment or contempt over a Smash character. People do that all the time already with characters that have existed in Smash for years now. There's nothing wrong with being excited or disappointed in a reveal, and there's nothing wrong with literally speculating the next character realistic or not. Despite that, it seems there's a general praise and excitement for Min Min, not nearly as much disagreement or hate for the character's inclusion spotted outside potential metagame impacts, and the Spirits deconfirmed thing getting debunked is helping people expand their horizons at least. This reveal has had a much more positive, healthier aftermath than some other DLC characters like Byleth or debatably Hero. There are definitely probably some people who dislike ARMS, and I'm sure there are people who may not like Min Min and Smash, but they have the right to feel that way. It's their feelings, their opinions. It's fine, and it won't affect the experiences of those excited for the character. Just don't try and take others' excitement, and don't try and sour any Debbie Downers more than they already are. It's all about an open mind and a different perspective. I'm not going to try and repeat most of what I said in the last video, but Spirits was somehow hard for people to grasp, yet Min Min broke that mold. Like how many other molds fans made throughout the Smash Bros. Series. It wouldn't surprise me if Mii costumes fell in the same category despite falling in an extremely similar scenario as the Spirits. Hell, I'd still go as far to argue assist trophies are even on the table. I've held this idea for a while now, but it debatably has stronger traction. Look at Springman. Some didn't want Springman due to his personality and other, more popular choices from ARMS, but you see the trailer toy around with the idea of Springman being a viable candidate. People even wanted him in the presentation to break the assist trophy fan rule too. With Sakurai going over Min Min, the reason Min Min was chosen was because of ARMS' director, Mr. Yabuki, recommending Min Min to Sakurai, who also considered Ninjara. He mentioned how despite Springman may have been considered as the protagonist, ARMS is more of an ensemble cast where everyone is a standalone quote-unquote protagonist in a way, and is equal to one another. The fact of Springman being an assist trophy was never brought up at all, which could easily mean nothing, but could also be interpreted in the way that Sakurai and Nintendo may not care or prioritize a character being an assist trophy, if there's moveset potential, if the character's popular, or anything else. And even though this is my own perspective, with this whole Spirits thing debunked, there are more and more people who feel or think assists have a better shot now, because Sakurai keeps on subverting and dismantling more and more false notions and fan rules that were never confirmed. The assist trophies deconfirmed argument has a basis. You don't have to agree with anything I'm saying, and it could still be a minority case. I think it still is. But the last time that it had a confirmed basis of some kind was early Smash 4, and lots have changed since then. Ridley, specific third parties, etc. You could argue during Ultimate's release was the last time, but with DLC, a lot more can happen, and a lot more is on the table than when close to initial release or near the finishing stages of the base game's development. More and more possibilities are up in the air now. People are noticing that more, and Min Min's reveal has changed the cycle and the landscape of Smash speculation as we know it. People are being more open, more possibilities for characters are being considered, and to reiterate, people think differently. Characters are chosen for much simpler reasons than you may assume. People have the right to agree or disagree with X character. It's not that black and white. Sakurai's a respectable game developer and respectable man. Have an open mind and learn to respect people's opinions and thoughts. Discussion and speculation can be enjoyable and civil with just having an open mind. It helps and goes a long way, and we're starting to see some of that thanks to Min Min's inclusion. Have a safe day. I wish everyone watching this good health and fortune. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more Super Smash Bros. Ultimate discussions and videos between montages, guides, streams, and more, as well as other Nintendo content. Stay super.